Once celebrated as Syria's Princess Diana, Asma Al Assad's story is now a tale of betrayal, luxury, and shocking downfall. How did the woman who symbolized hope for a nation become the First Lady of Hell? As Syria's regime collapses and Asma files for divorce in exile, her journey from glamour to controversy raises questions. Was she a victim of circumstance, or a key player in her husband's oppressive rule? And what does her dramatic split mean for the future of the infamous Assad dynasty? Before we get started, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Let's get started. December 8, 2024 marked a turning point in Syria's history. In Damascus, crowds gathered to celebrate the fall of a regime responsible for unimaginable horrors, including over 500,000 deaths and the displacement of millions during a prolonged and devastating civil war. The Assad family had held absolute power in Syria for more than 5 decades, followed by his son Bashar, who ruled for over 24 years. Finally, opposition forces brought an end to Bashar's reign, closing the chapter on their oppressive rule and a 13-year civil war. During Bashar's presidency, his wife Asma evolved from a quiet beacon of hope to a staunch ally of his regime, leaving behind the image she once symbolized. Asma Al Assad, originally named Asma Fawaz Akharas, was born on August 11, 1975 in London, into a Syrian-British family that placed a high value on education and ambition. Her father, Fawaz Akharas, was a cardiologist, while her mother, Sahar, worked as a diplomat at the Syrian embassy in London. Raised in Acton, West London, Asma attended local schools before pursuing her studies at Queen's College and later at King's College London, where she graduated with first-class honors in computer science and French literature. After graduating in 1996, Asma launched her career as an economics analyst at Deutsche Bank, before moving to J.P. Morgan's investment banking division. There, she specialized in biotechnology and pharmaceuticals, honing analytical skills that she later credited with deepening her understanding of business operations. Just as her career was reaching its peak, with plans to pursue an MBA at Harvard University, her life took an unexpected and transformative turn. Asma met Bashar al-Assad in the late 1990s while he was in London training to become an ophthalmologist. Their relationship grew, leading to their marriage on December 13, 2000, shortly after Bashar took over as Syria's president following the death of his father, Hafez al-Assad. Initially, Asma was portrayed as a modern and sophisticated first lady, admired for her Western education and progressive vision. Her charm and public image even earned her the nickname Syria's Princess Diana. As First Lady, Asma Al Assad actively promoted initiatives focused on social and economic reform in Syria. She played a key role in the Syria Trust for Development, an organization aimed at advancing women's rights and improving education. However, her image as a progressive reformer began to crumble with the outbreak of the Syrian Civil War in 2011. Despite her earlier advocacy, Asma came under heavy criticism for remaining silent during the government's brutal crackdown on protesters. Her reputation took another hit when leaked emails exposed her lavish spending on luxury goods while the country was engulfed in conflict. This stark disconnect between her public persona and private actions sparked widespread condemnation, earning her unflattering nicknames like Marie Antoinette and Lady Macbeth. The Syrian Civil War broke out in March 2011, sparked by pro-democracy protests in the southern city of Daraa. These demonstrations were part of the larger Arab Spring movement, with citizens calling for an end to the authoritarian rule of President Bashar al-Assad's regime. Asma withdrew from her duties as First Lady, leaving many to question her position on the escalating crisis. In later years, Asma al-Assad re-emerged as a vocal supporter of her husband and his regime. She began making public statements defending Bashar al-Assad, presenting herself as a loyal wife and mother amidst the chaos. Her appearances included controversial interviews and media engagements, where she focused on themes of resilience and family unity. These efforts appeared aimed at softening the regime's image during a time of severe humanitarian crises and widespread accusations of war crimes by government forces. This shift marked a sharp contrast between Asma's early image as a potential reformer and her later portrayal as complicit in the regime's actions. Once seen as a modernizing force with hopes for social change in Syria, her unwavering support for Bashar al-Assad during a period of widespread violence led to accusations that she was complicit in war crimes. Critics pointed to her public statements and lavish lifestyle amid the suffering of ordinary Syrians, as evidence of her disconnection from the harsh realities faced by the people. Asma Al Assad has earned the nickname the First Lady of Hell, a title that underscores the contrast between her luxurious life and the agony of countless Syrians throughout the civil war. This label is tied to numerous allegations and reports that cast a troubling light on her role and influence within the Assad regime. Reports have emerged revealing Asma's extravagant lifestyle, which included luxury shopping sprees and designer outfits, even as millions of Syrians endured starvation and extreme hardship. For example, while her husband's regime was enforcing brutal sieges on cities, Asma was discovered to have ordered thousands of pounds worth of luxury goods, including high-end jewelry and fashion items. This glaring contrast between her lavish life and the suffering of ordinary citizens has sparked widespread outrage and deepened her controversial reputation. Asma's influence went beyond public appearances. Reports suggest she played a key role in government decisions and propaganda efforts. Investigations have revealed that she had significant influence over economic policies, particularly in managing Syria's ongoing economic crisis. This included involvement in critical decisions about food and fuel subsidies, as well as the handling of foreign aid through the Syria Trust for Development, which was involved in reconstruction efforts in regime-controlled areas. These actions have led to accusations that humanitarian aid was either blocked or misused under her leadership, strengthening her image as complicit in the regime's oppressive tactics. After the collapse of Bashar al-Assad's regime in December 2024, Asma's life in exile continued to reflect the excesses of her past. Reports suggest she sought refuge in Russia, where she maintained a lifestyle marked by luxury, further disconnected from the hardships faced by her fellow Syrians. Photos of her former residences revealed rooms decorated with gold-leafed walls and upscale furniture, a stark contrast to the devastation experienced by countless Syrians. Asma Al Assad's title of the First Lady of Hell symbolizes not just her opulent lifestyle but also her perceived complicity in the Assad regime's atrocities. Her legacy is tainted by allegations of corruption, influence over oppressive policies, and a deep detachment from the suffering of the Syrian people. The international community's response to her role during the Syrian Civil War has been overwhelmingly negative, resulting in sanctions and significant criticism from Western media. In a dramatic turn of events, Asma Al Assad, the wife of the ousted Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, has taken a bold step by filing for divorce. This decision unfolds against the backdrop of a tumultuous political landscape, where the Assad dynasty has faced unprecedented challenges following the recent collapse of their regime. After marrying Bashar, she became a prominent figure in Syrian society, often referred to as the Rose in the Desert. However, her life took a drastic turn as the Syrian Civil War unfolded, leading to their exile in Moscow after rebel forces captured Damascus. Reports indicate that Asma is dissatisfied with her life in Russia and longs to return to the UK. Allegedly seeking special permission from Russian authorities to leave, she has expressed concerns over inadequate medical care for her leukemia diagnosis. Sources close to her reveal that she is eager to reunite with her children in London and regain some semblance of normalcy after years of turmoil. The Kremlin has denied these reports, asserting that Asma's divorce filing and plans to relocate are not accurate. Despite this denial, the implications of her actions are significant, potentially marking the end of an era for the Assad family. Asma's pursuit of independence amidst personal and political upheaval reflects a profound shift in her narrative, from a celebrated first lady to a woman seeking freedom and health in a foreign land. Asma's story is not just one of personal struggle. It encapsulates the broader narrative of a regime in decline and the shifting tides of power in Syria. With her divorce proceedings now underway, the future remains uncertain for both her and Bashar al-Assad as they navigate this new chapter apart. Asma al-Assad's journey is filled with questions that challenge our understanding of power and loyalty. Was she trapped by her circumstances, or was she an architect of her own downfall? What does her story say about the price of ambition and betrayal? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're intrigued by stories of dramatic rises and falls, hit that like button and subscribe. There's so much more to uncover. Until next time, stay curious.